So we are here at Abbey Road, Mura Masa.
Yeah, it's weird being back here.
This place is pretty special. There have been some incredible people that have recorded music here. You are now one of those people. Come on, I'm just going to put you in the box straight away.
All right.
How much of the album did you actually record here?
Like, only Lovesick. Because I just make music at home on my laptop and stuff. But when I work with other vocalists, I like to get in the studio and like make a bit of a fuss about it so that everybody feels good and like there's more of an atmosphere and stuff.
So people feel special.
Yeah, especially Rocky, because like I wanted to make sure that everything was cool, and I just wanted to up the stakes a little bit and kind of like find myself a little bit in a proper recording environment. And I think it worked, because he was down there in the control room, which is like 20 feet away, and like we were talking. It just made the whole thing feel more important, and like I just think it's a good story to go with the record.
How much of your job like consists of you knowing what things do and how they work? Like, are you someone that goes out and buys MIDI keyboards and MPCs and QRXs? I've just made that up, by the way.
0% of what I do relies on my knowledge of gear, because I just use my laptop. Nobody ever believes me, but like I was making music yesterday in my living room with headphones. It's really awful actually when I get into studios and have to record vocalists and stuff, because I just have to have an engineer hovering behind me, and the vocalists will just be like, "Can you turn me up a bit?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, just give me 2 seconds." And then somebody will come over and be like, "It's just that knob there." Cheers.
That is brilliant. One thing I've always wanted to know about you, Mura Masa, is why don't you have a Mura Masa tag in your
I do actually.
What is it?
I never ever use it.
Okay.
It's a little Japanese girl saying "hi," which means yes. It's in my old stuff.
Are you joking?
No, I'm not. It was actually originally in the Stormzy. I think it might still be on there.
In First Things First?
First Things First, yeah. It was right at the start.
And it's just her saying hi?
Yeah, hi.
Which means?
Yes.
And that has something to do with Mura Masa how?
Well, Mura Masa's Japanese. It's like comes from a Japanese folklore thing.
From Island Boys in Guernsey, shout out the Island Boys, to Abbey Road Studios, that's a pretty big deal. That is something that you can definitely put in a book as like, if you were writing your memoirs, like that's a thing.
Yeah,
to go from those two places. I think the last time we spoke, you were in the Beats One studio. I think it was just after Fireflies with Neo, and now your debut album is out. Can you name all the features that are on the album?
A$AP Rocky, AK Paul, Bonsai, Christine and the Queens, Damon Albarn, Designer.
Yeah.
Tom Tripp, Neo, Jamie Liddell, and Charlie XCX. I feel like I've forgotten someone.
No, I don't think you have.
Is that everybody?
I feel like it is.
I was trying to do it in alphabetical order.
You're featured on the album.
Me?
You're featured on the album.
I made some of it.
What have been the moments that you've had to take a second to accept that they were real? Like a moment for you to be like, that wasn't a dream. That definitely happened just now.
This is pretty cool. Just like getting to chat to you in Abbey Road.
Thanks, Mura.
Yeah. Coachella was like a fever dream. We brought out Rocky, Charlie, Designer, J Prince, Bonsai, Fliss, who like sings with me on the road, Tom Tripp. We brought him out. That was his first live performance ever at Coachella. In front of like.
So he's got one song. And his first live performance is at Coachella.
Live streamed,
That's
like
pretty cool.
Lots of pressure. Killed it though.
So then tell us about this album. So you transitioned from an idea that, like you said, obviously I feel the same about albums as well. They do feel like a narrative and they can feel like you're going on a journey with someone. So then tell us about what this album means, and if it's not a narrative, what is it?
When I started making the music, I wanted it to be very narrative, and I love albums that tell stories and stuff. But then as time went on and as I was like trying to wrestle with that concept, I just realized that the way music's moving and the way it's like listened to and consumed and stuff, it doesn't really call for a narrative, at least not from someone like me.
Okay.
I'd say what it is in its final form is it's like a collection of just cultural like moments and kind of bringing together a lot of unlikely collaborators and having Damon Albarn right next to Designer on the front cover. Have
you got any favourite parts of the album in terms of like, I mean geeky parts, nerdy producer parts, like a mix sound that just sounds sick, or like a melody or a harmony that you love?
Yeah, I especially like the Damon Albarn track at the end, just because I grew up listening to Gorillaz and he's kind of like a collaborator with the Gorillaz project, and he's like an arbiter of a lot of UK culture and stuff. So to have him on there is really important, I think.
Who was the most fun to work with?
There's two. I'm going to say two. So Christine and the Queens was mad because she was in London, and it was right at the end of the album writing process. And I said to her, like, it's probably too late to get this on the album, but we should totally try and do something anyway. I had this like looping string sample from some Bollywood movie or something from ages ago, and I'd sent it to her just as like a starting point or an idea or like a palette to start from, and she'd written an entire like 3-minute song over it. So she just came in and she was like, "You want to record the song? I think we should just do it." So she went in the booth, I hit play, and she did the whole song, one take through, and I was like, okay. And she was like,
queen.
Maybe there are some harmonies we can put in. And I was like, yeah, okay. Like 2 more takes, just a couple of harmonies. And then she was like, it's kind of done. And I was like, you are amazing. Like, because not a lot of vocalists can do that. Like, snap, first take, on the fly, like, dynamite. Designer was very fun.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Because he's just a totally different kind of energy. I was in LA, and actually, side note, I was working across from Kendrick when he was working on Damn.
That's more than a side note, Mura Masa. That's like the main note.
That was one of those moments that was like, what am I doing
Did
here?
you have an urge to just walk across?
He came across.
What?
He said hey to me, yeah. He took some time out. It's very nice of him.
Did you then make the sickest tune you've ever made in your life? Like after Kendrick Lamar says hi?
Well, he was like, you got some music? And I was like scrambling around like, I think I got some beats. And then I played him a couple of things, and then he was like, okay, cool. Let me get the whole folder. And I was like, okay. And then he left. And then somebody else came in and was like, yeah, can we get those beats on this memory stick? I was like, yeah.
You should have just given your whole laptop at that stage.
Yeah, scary. Anyway, so I was in that studio, that having just happened. And then the email comes through from designer. Yeah. Quick, send me the beat. I want the beat. And I was like, okay. And like, I sent him the All Around the World beat. And then we got it back a while later, and it was just the chorus kind of as it is, like the All Around the World bit. And then for the rest of it, it was just ad-libs, like just designer ad-libs. Like,
what do you mean?
Yeah. Like,
are you serious? Yeah. Where is that now?
I don't know. I was like, this is fantastic. I love this. And then I thought, wouldn't it be interesting? This is what I mean about pushing people and like taking it to another place, is like, I was like, wouldn't it be interesting if we tried a more traditional song structure, like hook, verse, hook, verse. And that was really cool, like as a collaborative process, because it was just like taking him a bit out of his comfort zone, taking me a bit out of my comfort zone with all the ad-libs, like, but that was super fun as well.
When you make an album with a list of features that sit at the level that yours do, does a part of you feel like they're going to overshadow you as a producer?
Producers now are more kind of prominent than they have been in the past.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need different voices, and, you know, Christine has very different things to talk about than Designer does, yeah. And Designer has very different things to talk about than Neo or Tom Tripp. So I think, if anything, it's a good thing that the kind of the face of the project is constantly changing, and it can cover a broader range of topics and sounds and stuff. Going forward, I'll probably look to work more collaboratively, not just with vocalists, but other producers and stuff. But for this one, I wanted it to be self-titled and self-made, you know. Yeah. Like, everything on there, I played every instrument, I produced every song. Apart from, you can hear Damon playing the guitar at the end of Blue. I had to put that in. The album almost ends on that.
Did you have to consciously do anything to make sure that there was still the Mura Masa message? That's hard to say. The Mura Masa message in the album. Were there any sort of conscious thoughts you made that you wanted to make sure sat throughout the album? Obviously, apart from the production itself.
Yeah.
But in terms of like the words that are said and the lyrics that are written, did you have anything that sort of lived in those parts of the tracks as well?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I contribute to lyrics, or like, you know, vocal ideas or whatever. But more often than not, I think it's about meeting whoever you're collaborating with halfway. So they're sort of stepping into your world and you're stepping into theirs, and then what comes out of it is something a bit interesting for both of you. So I think in that way, every song is kind of like peppered with my voice as well as theirs. And sometimes it is me singing. So, yeah.
Congratulations on your album.
Thanks so much, Julie.
And working really hard, traveling the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.